good more earnings, everyone in the Philippines. As I always say, Philippines to the world. And also welcome everyone from Prive International to Prive International members, wherever you may be. We are one Prive, one team, and one family. So it's a total game changer. And right now, we are coming with the second wave. So the second wave whereby we put everybody just smell the smoke of what Prive International has gone forward. So let me pull up the screen. Okay. Yep. So 60 years young grandfather. And for the very first time, for those who knows me, right? You can call me Noor, or you can call me Rashid, whichever is easy for you. So I've been with Prive International for the past 3 years, and I'm just like any other leaders, but I saw the opportunity, I saw the vision, and I basically, like I said again, you got to get it and squeeze it, yeah? So I'm also the Executive Director of Prive International Singapore and the Corporate Affairs Director International. So this was during the first anniversary in KL, where Mark and Sarah was also on stage, and we're going to have more of you guys going to be on stage on the third anniversary. And this time for the third anniversary, it's going to be, like I said again, more of you going to come up as a crown ambassador. So that is my word to make sure that each and every one of you will have good more earnings. It's 24 hours of, like I said again, income coming in. And on top of that, we have more great things that are coming. Those teams in KL, they were privileged. They saw what is a way forward with Prive International. They saw the vision, and this is where you want to grab this opportunity. Do not let it sleep you. Remember. So let's welcome our next breakthrough, which is the world first oxygen nutrition. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can't get this from the medical hospital, from any clinic, from any pharmaceutical. And what's the best? You can't get it at any other multi-level company that is doing network. They do not have this supplement in the market. So we are the very first one to have this called oxygen nutrition. Wow, that is a big word, oxygen nutrition. So Oxy Tap, we call it the Oxy Tap. It is a machine, but what's more important, it has the healing power of oxygen and water. So we want to explain to everyone the importance of oxygen. This is the primary of what living or life is all about. And we are the world's first oxygen supplement infuser. So we have at least 3 years lead time advantage. Yes, 3 years lead time advantage before all the copies or the wannabes want to catch up with the industry. By then, we are always moving 2 steps ahead of the challenges, yeah? But first and most important, we want to make sure and make it clear that we do not claim and proclaim. This is not a medical device, and we wouldn't want to put it into a medical category. Then it will deprive each and every one of us to actually share this benefit to the rest of the world. But what we want to understand and to realize that if we give what the human body needs, all illnesses can be reversible. Yes. And before I start, let me just introduce who is the CEO and the founder of this device. Mr. Wilson Tan, he is a Singaporean. I myself is also a Singaporean, but right now I just arrived in Brunei. Yes, my family is in Brunei, and tonight I totally forgotten about it until an hour ago. I just received the notification. So I'm at home, I'm here, and I want to do the best for every one of you. So Mr. Wilson Tan, if you remember, right, Singapore is the first country that used recycled water. Yes, we drink water from the toilet, we drink water from the drainage, we have to recycle. In a small country, just a little red dot, we have to have our food security. So we have to be independent, we have to recycle. And Mr. Wilson Tan play an instrumental role making of the recycled water for the Singapore. So basically it is as good as any other drinking water or even better. right? And he is also the man in charge. If any one of you have been to Singapore and you've gone to Sentosa, you have gone to the water world or the undersea water in Sentosa, all the water that is conditioned and controlled by Mr. Wilson Tan. He set it up to make sure that the fishes in the aquarium, they are very precious and they, like I said again, priceless. It has to be contained in a specific pH level, temperature level, oxygen level, and everything, and is still in charge of it. So Mr. Wilson Tan is also very instrumental right now to explore on how to use two of nature vital elements, oxygen and water. So when we talk about oxygen and water, let's hear what he has to say.
Hi, Private Leaders. Thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in to the live podcast. And I just want to have a quick intro of who am I and what I do and why we came. So I'm basically an inventor and the Chief Technology Officer and CEO of Oxy Tap. How we came about basically was my mom passed on at 67 from leukemia, and she was from a very fit condition, and the doctor gave her 3 months to live, and then she went on. So basically, I wanted to see a world disease-free and not filled with chemicals or unnatural products, right? So that's where the vision for Oxy Tap came, and we basically combine oxygen and water, which is two vital elements for health and wellness and for longevity, to put it in a box like Oxy Tap and to deliver it in a form factor which can easily be consumed and easily increase your energy levels and longevity just by drinking it. So this is what we do, and we want to do it naturally without the chemicals. So stay tuned. We will come up with more interesting products, which is natural and chemical-free. And going to encourage all of you to help spread the word to see Oxy Tap in every household and giving people hope to natural and exciting products. Yeah, see you soon.
Wow. Catch the last word. You want to see the Oxy Tap in every household around the world. Who doesn't drink water, isn't it? So this is most important because as we are talking, the world is facing a global problem, which is the oxygen pandemic, right? A lot of people confused. We might be in a room full of air and yet lack of oxygen. Yes. Don't mistaken. What is room full of air but no oxygen? And you need oxygen, it needs humidity. Because comparing yourself, if you are climbing Mount Everest, it's very dry. There's no humidity, you will need a tank of oxygen to breathe in. And especially for those people who are frequent traveler, as you are flying, all right? So as you are flying, you are lack of oxygen. And the worst affected person in the aircraft will be the flight attendant or the flight steward and stewardess. Why is that so? Because of the air is very, very dry there, and you are working. That means you are performing, and your muscle, your tissue will be going into hypoxia. So this is very important, and that explains why during my younger days, when I was a flight attendant with United Airlines, I experienced a premature aging. There are illnesses that I couldn't explain why is it happening to me, and I was then 26 years young. Yes, 26 years young. So with oxygen is the vital, crucial of healthy living, and that creates a health problem. Because if we talk on the human survival overall, each and every one of us, we can survive 3 weeks without food. After that, we're probably gonna be, like I said again, dying of hunger. And the next most important, we could also survive 3 days without water. And perhaps after that, we're gonna be, like I said again, dehydrated, all the body will be parched, all the organs gonna be dried up like a fruit, and that's where we are gone. But ask ourselves, how long can we survive without oxygen? Whoa. So we are talking about the most important elements. These are the basic, the primary living right? Which is oxygen. Because for food, we can always go on alternative. You can still survive, but we're talking about oxygen and we are talking about water. But right now we are talking about oxygen, the most primary elements of life itself. And this is very interesting to know and understand the importance of oxygen in the human body. If you look at this screen, I got it in a hospital. It's very strange, but it stated here, did you know that disease starts to develop from your DNA, and what happened is a chain reaction, right? So the DNA is inside the cell, so it will be a domino effect. When your cell is sick, it will lead to a sick tissue, and when your tissue is sick, it will also lead to a sick organ. And what happened? You will be very, very sickly. So what I want you to do today is to understand that the best creation that God has created on Mother Earth is human being. Right, so we got to understand being human, the very basic level is imperative in maintaining our well-being and important practicing preventive healthcare. So what does it shows to you? That every of all this, it needs oxygen, right? Just like I explained to you, my both parents has died of cancer, right? And you know, all cancer patients, the only, like I said again, that they have go through the medical, they got to go through chemotherapy. So we understand that chemotherapy will kill the cancer cell. At the same time, it will kill the healthy cell. Eventually, you die. So what I'm trying to tell to you is that the doctor once told my parents, there is no more cancer. However, he continues saying, the cancer cell is still hiding. The word is what? The cancer cell. So what I'm trying to tell you, that there is something that is still, we are not troubleshooting it right. We are actually doing the wrong troubleshooting. The problem is right at the root here is a cell, but they are treating at the organ level. That explains why people keep coming back to the same sickness and seeing the doctor again with an increase of prescription drugs. So what we want to do is stop the bucket right here. So the problem is right at the cell. I like to ask each and every one of you, if you are smarter than a fifth grader, right? Which part of the human organ that lies the smallest blood vessel? Make a wild guess. For those for the very first time, you might be saying on other parts of your body. That means either the eye or the liver and others. But let me just share with you, the smallest blood vessel in the human organ lies in your brain. So what I'm trying to tell you is that what happens when the brain is lack of oxygen? This is what happened. Just 3 minutes without oxygen, you can enter into a stroke. Why is that so? The brain, right, it carries the blood, but yet lack of oxygen. So the blood is just a carrier. You may have a blood, it could be a thickening blood. It's lack of oxygen. That is why you're feeling giddy. And what happens, you can enter into a stroke or even paralyzed. So the most important is the blood, the oxygen in the blood. So if it's not enough oxygen in the blood, we can survive, ladies and gentlemen. We do not want to become a vegetation state lying just on the bed. So this is why it's important what oxygen plays in the human body. And we are, like I said again, deprived of healthy oxygen. Just take a look at yourself. With the modernization, right, with the pollution that is going in, industrial pollution, we are deprived of all this luxury. So what happens? When lack of oxygen, it leads to premature aging, and we're going to suffer with all these illnesses. So now we know what is the cause of it, right? And what we enter again, as I mentioned, tissue hypoxia. Why tissue hypoxia? The body lack of oxygen. It affects the cell, it affects the tissue, it affects your organ, just because lack of oxygen. So that is the chain reaction. So you will enter into premature aging, what more into the stress, the pollution, and of course with all the various disease, you can be easily infected. And all this problem lies to the cell, because if there's no oxygen, the cell are not able to produce mitochondria that is an energy that form the ATP. So it's just like a car. You can pump in the gas or the petrol. Without oxygen, there is no combustion. So if the cell doesn't get the oxygen in the body, it can't produce energy. As what even some of our speakers who says, the human body is full of energy. Where do you get from the energy? It needs oxygen to convert it into ATP so the cell has the energy. Wow. Now we're going right into the detail, the life source itself. And what's more, we are not out of the woods yet. We are still facing off long COVID-19. Because when you breathe in, if you're already positive of COVID-19, your lungs, the air sac, they're not able to absorb a lot of oxygen because we can be in the same room. But some of us can breathe in deep air into their lungs, but to some, they are gasping for breath. Why is that so? It is all everybody in the same room, right? So due to the long COVID-19, all these illness will remain in your body for life. So what you want to do is to prevent from COVID-19 happening. And this is all because why? Lack of oxygen. This is what it caused. And listen to this. Dr. Otto Warburg, he is the Nobel Prize winner. Very interesting. He says cells can turn cancerous if deprived of oxygen for a long period. How long is this period? Just about 48 hours. I don't think that's very long. We are talking about 2 days. Deprive a cell 35% of its oxygen. The healthy cell now will change to become a cancer cell. Wow. It's just like a game of a Pac-Man. It was good, and suddenly it will turn around and start attacking all the good cell and turns it into a cancer cell. So all normal cells have a requirement for oxygen. But cancer cells, they can live without oxygen. So what we want to do, if you are able to give the cell what the oxygen intake continuously, we want to do prevention. So that means prevention is always better than medication. So all you need to do is give the cell what it needs, which is oxygen. Amazing. Yeah. So alternatively, we can have more oxygen by using the hyperbaric chamber. If you are super rich, like Michael Jackson or Justin Bieber, you may have this right at home. But you need a specialist to actually administer this machine. Alternatively, you can also have the oxygen concentrator. Remember, all these, they are not natural. They are
recording
gases,
stopped.
right? So what happens if they are gases?
Recording in progress.
Too much of oxygen from the, like again, unnatural, it will also lead to oxygen toxicity. So in the end, it will do more harm than good, because you need a specialized to actually help you to control on the oxygen intake since they are gases. So what happens, we are having a gap here. There is no readily available oxygen supplement until, eureka, we have the answers, which is called the Oxy Tap. These close the gap, and we are the world's first regenerative oxygen supplement infuser. Amazing. It is very light, it is very compact, it's proven effective, and like I said again, it's just value for money. So ladies and gentlemen, do not mistaken. This is not a water filter. It is not a water filter. And just so you know, water, there are 3 different categories. The first thing that you need to have at home is a water filter. You need to have a water filter in every home. You can say that the water is clean, even in Singapore. But remember, the water tank, when was the last time it has been serviced? Number 1. Number 2, you got to look at all the water tank. It accumulates over time. When was the last time? So if you don't believe me, please have a white cloth under the tap, and you will notice it will change to brown color in no time. So what you need to have is a water filter to filter it from all the sediments, all the dirt. And the second one is the water sterilization. Water sterilization is to sterilize the water from germs and bacteria. Alternatively, you can simply do it by boiling the water. but none of them has this that's going to create oxygen. So what Oxytap does, it is not a water filter, it is not a water sterilization, but however, is the primary that it can complement, right? That means it can complement if you already have a Kangen water machine. You can complement it with Oxytap. It will make your Kangen water taste better. For once, I'm the biggest Kangen distributor at one time. When I first started it, there wasn't any office in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, but I saw that and I started in Brunei. I was a 6A22. I have to flew all the way to Hong Kong to get it. All right, so we complement all the water filter. If you have the Amway water filter, it will make the Amway water filter taste better with Oxytap. So if you have Cuckoo, any other water filter, it complements. Since it's not a water filter, you got to ensure only clean water goes inside here because you want to use it for a very long time. So in other words, we can actually get oxygen right from Mother Nature. God has given this luxury, but now we are deprived of it because of pollution. And what is good, we want to use Mother Nature as a point of reference. Have we ever wondered that all the fishes in the sea, they breathe in oxygen from their gills? You will never see the fish will jump out of the water, breathe in air, and down into the water again. But what's amazing of all these millions of years, all the 7 seas, there isn't one oxygen tank or oxygen that has been produced. It's right in there. It doesn't go away or getting lesser because of the wind and all that. But however, if you were to compare the fish in the aquarium, you need the oxygen tank. You need the oxygen meter to actually have the oxygen. Otherwise, they couldn't last more than 24 hours. How amazing is that? The point I'm trying to refer to you, right? The human body, 70% are liquid. Yes, 70% are liquid. And if you compare on the blood, it's 90% is liquid. But what is it called, the oxygen in the water? It is called dissolved oxygen. And there's a way to measure the dissolved oxygen in the water. So in natural bed water, it's between 8 to 20 parts per million. Right. So what the body needs perhaps, because if you breathe in oxygen, you can only use 20% from the lungs. But when you drink water, you are drinking oxygen. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the comparison. Because a lot of people got confused. They thought the more expensive the water they buy over the shelf, the better the quality of the water. As it is, water, they are colorless and tasteless. But one water to another, it will indicate the big difference whether you are drinking dead water or living water. So what is dead water? What is living water? Let's do the comparison, because if I'm with you face to face, we're going to do it live. But since we are on a Zoom, this is the comparison to understand the dissolved oxygen in the water that you bought over the shelf. One of the most expensive imported water, everybody known, Evian, right? And when we measure it, you see this is a meter. It's not just you're getting it from any Tom, Dick, or Harry. This is not a gadget. It is an industrial device, which is called HANA, H-A-N-N-A, and this is made in Italy, in Europe, with ISO certification that it measures the dissolved oxygen precisely. Right, so you can get this device for itself, and what it does, it can even measure the oxygen in the air. Yes, and what it did, when we measure Evian, the reading is only 7.4. Excuse me. I'm drinking Oxytap, oxygenated water. Just a single digit. Can you imagine? All this while, ignorantly, we are buying, but instead, what we're drinking, considered as a dead water, lack of oxygen. It may differ if you get it from the source. right from the mountain. But the moment it's been bottled, it's been warehoused, it's been exposed to heat and everything. And the period, by the time you receive it, it's not as good. And what's more, it's been put into a plastic bottle. Please do not drink water into a plastic bottle, especially if you leave it in the car with the hot sun, with the plastic, it will emit all the gases. So what you're going to be drinking, it turns to toxic. Please put it, every of your drinking water, in a glass bottle. Yes, I got it all in a glass bottle. Yep. Okay. So now we understand the most important expensive water, Evian, the reading of dissolved oxygen is 77 parts per million. Another brand, Fiji. No much difference. Just a single digit, 7.7. And this is another important, Volvic, and the reading is only 8, a single digit. And Dasani, 7.7 parts per million. When we did the Oxy Tap, ladies and gentlemen, everybody got shocked because it increased more than 300%, more than 3 times more. We are reading at about 26.7 parts per million of dissolved oxygen. So could you imagine every time when you drink water, consciously, subconsciously, you are drinking full of oxygen. And it just doesn't go to your body, it goes to your gut. When it goes to your gut, it is faster distribution to all your organs, to all your tissue, to all your cell, and it fills your body with full of oxygen. That is it. Amazing. Dissolve oxygen more than 3 times. So this is what it tells you, you have the living water. And remember, when you have this mission, you're not being selfish just for yourself. You are having it at home. Everybody gonna drink water. Who doesn't drink water? But what they're drinking water has no oxygen or lack of oxygen. So your children's gonna be drinking water, your parents gonna be drinking water, and everybody else gonna be drinking water right at home for the whole family. So you do not need to shout down the throat of your children, eat more vegetables, eat more fruits, because why? You know that when they drink water, you know that they are also drinking oxygen nutrition. Amazing. So consciously, subconsciously, this is what the body needs. And the more you drink, the more your body is stabilized. What happens? Prevention is better than cure. You can keep cancer at bay. That is good to know. Now, this is period. We now know the difference between Evian and all those. So people got confused with Kangen machine is antioxidant. Antioxidant is not oxygen. Antioxidant is only what? To prevent from oxidation. People got it confused. So you will have a reaction when you drink it in the first time, but over time, that's not what your body needs. Because if you know, we want to oxidize the food in the stomach. Because if it doesn't help digestion at all. So that is just a placebo effect. So you don't call it doesn't have antioxidant. No, what we need to have is oxygen. So is everybody clear? Right? So now we understand what is antioxidant and what is oxygen. The primary is oxygen. Remember, the human survival is not about antioxidant, but we are talking about oxygen. And what is good to know, this is what we get. And ladies and gentlemen, it's so light, I bring it for traveling. Recently, my trip to Europe, I was together with Dr. Jimmy. We had a stopover in Qatar, right? And what happens? I brought it and I fixed it. It comes with a dual voltage. So you don't need to have a converter. You just need an adapter. As long as you can plug in, we are ready to go. And I had about 1.5 liters of water. Just put it in. I drink it because when you fly, your lack of oxygen. Now we fill up our body, replenish it with a lot of oxygen. Dr. Jimmy, and we shared to other passengers. And guess what? We got 2 clients from there. Amazing, isn't it? So this is how small. Do not check in your machine. Just buy a small, like thinking hand carry luggage. It could be a hard case, a small one, just like a makeup bag for ladies, or you can buy this brand with this small tule. I like this because it has many pockets. So I want to show you right? This size, and it fits in nicely. Take a look, right? I put it in, right in. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I am ready to bring it anywhere I go. So if you ask me, how many machines do I have? I have 4 machines. Can you see that? So this is a nice hand carry. You can bring it along wherever you go. I have one in Brunei home. I have one in my Singapore home, and I have one in my KL apartments, and the 4th one, which I always carried it along. And what happens when I carry it along? When I met the leaders in Poland recently, they couldn't wait. They bought the machine that I have. That is it. Because why? They know the importance of oxygen, right? And they even went to the extreme of getting their natural source water. In Poland, they just want to be double sure that what we have from the Oxy Tap, it complements it. And it enhances it. It expedites everything to the next level. It's just like you're comparing. What we have here is a high technology. Just like if I'm going to the Philippines, I'm going to take a ship. It's going to take me months before I arrive. But now when I'm taking a flight, I'll be there in just 2 hours from Brunei. Can you see that, the difference? So this is the technology to enhance, just like our eye therapy and so on. So what I'm saying that always carry along with you, you need to have space, because the moment you already enjoy the oxygen from the water, your tongue will be, your palate will be very sensitive to other water, because it tastes naturally sweet, it is very smooth, and you just love drinking water naturally. So what's more important, ladies and gentlemen, we have done the comparison of all the various water, and we have the numbers, and most important, numbers don't lie. And now the other most crucial part is, how does it complement or benefit when we drink the oxygenated water from Oxy Tap? We have results to prove it. Let's take a look and listen to him.
Action. You know, Brother Anna, I'm so happy to see you here in Langkawi. My voice is gone. But when I take this product called the Sky Tap Oxy, oxygen in my water, it was very sore yesterday when I started taking this. My goodness, half my sound come back. And I know if I take this, it's amazing. You know why? All of us need oxygen. You know and I know. But the oxygen has depleted. Too much of pollution, too much of smoking, too much of everything. So whether you have a Kangen water in the house or the RO water in the house or any mineral water in the house, we need the Oxy Tap, because this is going to change the world. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to be exposed to Oxy Tap, and we are going to do this with Pride International. The question is, are you in? Are you out? Oh!
Amazing, right? So what we did, the most important thing, whenever you go to a hospital or clinic, especially during the COVID-19, now there's another wave that's coming back, or whatever your sickness, the first thing the doctor will do, of course, checking your blood pressure and your heartbeat, they will put an oximeter. Remember, during the COVID days, you have an oximeter. What does the oximeter do? It's actually to measure the blood oxygen. That means SpO2. The scientific name is called SpO2, to make sure that you have enough oxygen in your blood. And you can also do this alternatively by wearing a digital watch. No matter what brand, as long as you make sure that there's SpO2 reading or blood oxygen. You can also use Apple Watch. As for me, I'm wearing the Huawei watch that can also measure the blood oxygen in your body. So what we did was this, an elderly man in Singapore, right? And the reading initial before drinking Oxy Tap, it was 94%, 94.7. And after drinking the Oxy Tap, that's about a minute. And we took the reading, the comparison difference, it increased to 99%. Wow. Let me just tell you this interesting. There is no medication, there is no supplement, there is nothing out there that can increase your blood oxygen in such a very fast 1 minute. None. So can you imagine that? So you always make sure that you have it in your hand, whether you're wearing that watch, so you can measure that every time, and you can also measure with the people that you're going to prospect. And what you do before they drink the water, you measure what is the reading of the blood oxygen, and after drinking it, you measure again after a minute, and they will see a minimum of 1% increase of blood oxygen. So what does it tells you? The more you drink, you're going to distribute over your body, and you will be fully oxygenated, not just hydrated, but oxygenated, because what it needs is oxygen. And from here, this is a very good comparison that I did during the second anniversary in Bangkok. I'm using my watch, so you can see that my watch is getting more popular than me. Take a look. One of our members, she complaining, she always feel weak. No wonder, only 86%. And after drinking, in just 1 minute. And now, I remember from Europe. No wonder you're suffering all the pains in the body. Your body lack of oxygen. The hypoxia, lactic acid.
Our body is made about 75% of water. Wow. 95. 95!
Now you got it. Now you see that.
Wow, 95%. Because ideally, our body has to be in the range between 96 to 99. That is good. Anything below 96, you don't feel comfortable. All right? If you're below 80, you're going to end up in the ICU. And this is where the doctor, before he can discharge you, they will check on the oxygen reading in your blood. It has to be in that range. So this is why it's very important. Your body has to be in constant, because it will change according to the environment around you. And even if you're smoking or exposed to smoke, right, the things that you eat and drink, and on top of that, your stress level. So you now don't have to worry about anything, because as you drink your water, you are drinking oxygen, nutrition at every time. So you can't somehow stabilize your body. You want to stabilize it. That is very important. And from here, this is a long COVID leg numbness patient and loss of strength right leg for 3 years. And after drinking it in 5 minutes, she see is amazing, because she restored the strength of her right leg again. And what Oxy Tap does, remember, this is a Singapore brand. If it's a Singapore brand, it has to come with a quality standard. And what's more, it follows together with the Singapore government on every trade show. Wow. The Singapore government will make sure that you are a Singapore made or Singapore brand, and it comes with a quality. And this was a roadshow was done in Berlin. All right. And we have so many of all those attendees came back, and pain relief in just 10 seconds. They do their oxygen reading, and they were surprised at this technology that they can get right at their own drinking water. So with that, 90 years old elderly with high blood pressure, no week of drinking. Have you heard anyone say, just drink your water and it can give you the recovery? Do you remember the doctor was always tell you, you need to drink more water? Because the doctor doesn't realize you need to drink more oxygen. Right, because the oxygen is in the water. So it's not from breathing, because when you're breathing, it's only 20% that goes to the lungs. And this is the effect of it, because when you are drinking oxygen, it is 10 times faster absorption in the cell. Wow. 10 times as opposed to your breathing. And it is 6 times faster oxygen absorption in your organ. Ladies and gentlemen, documentation beats any conversation. And this was the test, clinical test done to check on the oxygen, oral oxygen therapy. That means how fast it goes down to your tissue. So what they did, they put an oximeter, of course, on the fingers, and they also put a probe, right, on the left hand, and also on the heart here, and on the left leg, and another probe on the right hand. So what they did was, they give the patient to drink normal water and they will compare the readings in 30 minutes. Then after that, they're going to give them to drink the oxygenated water. Then after 30 minutes of drinking the oxygenated water periodically, and this is what the reading, all right? Here on the heart, and the oxygenated tissue increased by 48%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great documentation to tell and to prove not only it has a high reading of oxygen in the water, second, to prove that it is being absorbed to the body, and very fast, we can even do a reading, 48%, right? And the previous one was only what? Can you see here? And this is on the left hand, 18%, right? And on the right hand, 22%. On the left leg, 10.6%, because the leg is furthest. Remember, when you drink oxygen, it goes to your gut and it goes faster. So what does it tell each and every one of you? You got to take note of what is available in the market. They are already selling out there about oxygen concentrator. Remember, oxygen concentrator, you are breathing. When you are breathing in, it only limited to the lungs and it is very slow. You only get 20%. But what we have here is drinking oxygen. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people got confused about hydrogen water. What is the comparison? I say we have no comparison because it's just like an apple and orange. What the body needs is oxygen, not hydrogen. The doctor will not check any hydrogen in your body. So, of course, they will feel something is good because it only shows you a placebo effect reaction. But after your body settles, the pain going to come back with a vengeance. So you got to know on the long-term sustainability of your health, what is beneficial to your organ, to your tissue, to your cell. So what you need to understand is give what the cell needs. Now, this is more studies that you can Google up from PubMed. It's stated here, oxygen concentration is an important factor in the maintenance, differentiation, and function of stem cell. Wow. So now we are talking about the mother cell of human being. That means your stem cell, before it can even start to regenerate, it needs oxygen concentration. If it doesn't have the oxygen concentration, you don't have new stem cell. That is why it doesn't divide and multiply. And this is another interesting to know about your body. The human biology, we understand, we studied that in school. We know what is the largest organ of the human body is our skin. Right? So that is the largest organ of the human body. So what we understand, we're going to dissect this and put under the microscope and find out what they are made of. So if you dissect the organ, they are made of all the specific body tissue of each organ. And we're going to dissect it and put it under the microscope. We are made of billions and millions of macro living organisms. It is called the cell. Whether the cell of the human, the cell of the animal, the cell of the fish, and the plants, they're the same, right? And look in the middle here, it looks like an egg yolk. It's called the nucleus. And amazingly, as I said, human is the best creation of God. Excuse me. I'm doing Zoom as though that I'm doing it live because I want you to feel I'm talking from here, not from here. Okay, so what is in the nucleus, you will find there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Amazing, in such a small space, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. And if you read the clinical journal, at the end of the chromosome is called the telomere. And you have to maintain the length of your telomere because if it's shortened, it shows premature aging because the cell, the DNA cannot divide and multiply. So you have to keep it constantly, the telomere length. And when you start to pull the telomere, this is where you're going to expose your double helix DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid, what does DNA made of? 4 components, guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine. We're not going to go into the details. But what's important, the DNA, that's why we look like our parents, we behave like our parents, and the bucket stops there. You do not, I repeat, you do not inherit your parents' sickness, because God is fair. You cannot have someone else that is doing the crime and another person is serving the time in jail. But what we did inherit was the bad lifestyle. Maybe you keep on continue smoking, or perhaps you go on drinking. I'm just not talking about alcohol per se. Now it comes in a fancy name. They call it energy drink. You might be drinking Red Bull. That is acidic. Every day you're taking it. For once, I was ignorant. I was looking at TV advertisement of 100 plus. And what does it tell you? It gives you energy. And I bought that and I drink every single day. And I was doing my jogging and running. And you know what happened? I suffered. After a month, I couldn't pass motion 2 weeks in a row. And my wife understands. And I have so many complications in my body. Right? So you are what you eat and drink. You got to be smart enough. But what we're trying to understand today, we need the cell needs oxygen. The stem cell needs oxygen to divide and multiply. So we can summarize today, your health starts at cellular level, and also your sickness starts at the cellular level. So with today, this is where it's going to be very informative, very educational, and I'm sure all of you also feel entertaining. Yes or yes? Everybody give me a thumbs up. All right? So with that, this is another interesting Nobel Prize winner, right? So what they did from all these doctors, they won it in 2019 on oxygen sensing and adaptability. Let me just pull this bigger. It's stated here, they're receiving it for their discoveries of how cells sense and adapt to oxygen availability. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very quite recent, 2019. So what they are looking for, all the cells in your organ, they are searching for oxygen. And this is where you need to understand all the specific organs, they need the minimum requirement of oxygen in order for them to live and to thrive. Because if it's not, in the lung, you're going to suffer with chronic bronchitis or even asthmatic, right? And in the liver and all that, that explains it. So if you could maintain it, you will be in the pink of health. And this is a proof. As I told you, my chronological age is I'm 60 years young. Age is just a number. So when I was in Poland, they go to the extreme of checking my biological age. They had this device from Russia, and we know Russia device, they are very good and very, like I said again, detailed and correct. And they were surprised. You know what happens? When they check on my biological age, it reads 39 years young. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the product of the product. I was shocked myself because it was sense on your blood, it was sense on your cell, it will also sense on your tissue. And I met recently a doctor in Singapore, and he is of the same age with me, and he also declared he did a biological age, and he had a premature aging of 63 years old, whereby his only age is just a number. Now, 40 is a new 60, or 60 is a new 40. So you have a choice here, because what you want to do, we want to grow old, but we want to grow old gracefully, because you do not want to end up putting on diapers. It's not a choice, but yes, you have a choice. So what you want to do is to spend the money on prevention. Yes, that will give you a long way, and it's a good way to instill in our children as well, so they have a healthy living. So what's amazing, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important. It's just like if you're taking vitamin C. It's not the capsule, but what is the content in the capsule, whether it's 500 mg, 1000 mg, or 1500 mg in the vitamin C capsule. So with the Oxy Tap, you can actually cater it to your preference. What is the preference like? You can continue to press it, because when you press it, for one, it will go for 3 minutes. And for 3 minutes, it will reach between the oxygen of 25 parts per million. So what is the benefit of just drinking a single shot of oxygen? It gives you better concentration and focus, which means for your children, if they are attending class, this is great for them. Bring it for them. You leave it in a room temperature. The oxygen will last for the next 24 hours. If you put it in the fridge, it will stabilize for the next 1 week. If you put it into an ice cube, it will last when it melts. So if your children love to drink cordial cold water, let them have it, because they will be drinking water, they will be drinking oxygen. You know, I am so, like I said again, particular that when we go out for a meal, either lunch or dinner, or even go out, we will bring bottles of oxygenated water. We will just order the food and we will ask for the empty glass, we drink the water. So this is good for it. So you don't have to just have one bottle. When I do it at home, I just put it into a jar. Yes, you can put it into the carafe as long as it goes, the watermark goes above the two small holes on the side. Because it will suck in the water, it will goes into the machine, right? It separates between the hydrogens and the oxygen, and some of the hydrogens will come out here. They have a reservoir tank, and it pumps out more oxygen, more stable oxygen into the water. That's how it increases on the oxygen, okay? And this is also good for insomnia. We had one of our leaders who was in the Philippines, and she has been on the sleeping pills for the past 10 years. So when she had the first glass of our Oxy Tap, she was telling me for the very first time after 10 years, she had the luxury of yawning. Do you realize, ladies and gentlemen, yawning is a luxury, all right? And amazingly, she felt sleepy after 10 years without medication. And also great for low energy and myopia. So drink the water. What do you do with myopia? Put it in a spray bottle. You can also spray the oxygenated water. Remember, the oxygenated water, just spray right direct into the eyes. If you have itchy eyes, just spray it in. Yes, it's oxygenated water. Drink it at the same time. You can refresh your whole face. It's even greater than even with spray. So when you spray, say a prayer or two. Say it. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. It's true. Yes. Be confident of that. Okay. Now, you also have a choice if you want to press it again. We call it the double shot. Or second time, now it will go for another 3 minutes, and thus it will increase on the more than 30 parts per million of dissolved oxygen. So what do you do with it? It's good to re-energize you. So if you feel a little bit of lethargic, drink it. Press it twice. And what is great, it is good for asthma. I am once a severe asthmatic patient. I've been hospital and clinic, breathed in oxygen 3 times. Don't take it lightly, because we have elderly that died, even youngsters, children, they died of asthma, fatalities. So you can prevent it. Remember, it is reversible. And what's amazing, after I'm drinking it, I suddenly start to, like I said again, throwing out all the thick phlegms. Like I'm just blow my nose, the thick phlegm is just coming out. Now you can breathe in with your lungs full of oxygen. And it's also great for asthma. Remember, you can just spray it. Your skin's going to be baby smooth. You can see the glow, the radiance, good for arthritis. Amazingly, especially the elderly on the knee. If you have not gone for a knee replacement, don't do it. You still have a second chance, right? And hangover, we're going to go on into that later on. And the third time, if you press it again, another 3 minutes, so a total of 9 minutes, now the oxygen will be more than 35 parts per million of dissolved oxygen. So what is this great for? Definitely to recover from cancer. Right, people who are having cancer, it will, I think, reduce the side effect of chemotherapy. So keep on drinking water, take your prescription medication accordingly. You'll be surprised on your next appointment to your doctor. They will notice if they do a cancer cell count, it will drop tremendously. And the doctor will tell you whatever you're taking, keep on taking. Don't stop it. right? And especially on COVID-19, long COVID, we want to be out of this and we can prevent it. And good, you got to have this, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I find it amazing, especially if you are Prime members. If you are already having your, like I said again, iron shield, you don't have to put on a mask. Why do you want to need to put on a mask? Unless you are coughing, you are sick, you do not want to infect other people around you. Because remember, we breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. So if you have the mask on, you are breathing back the carbon dioxide that you breathe in and breathe out. So it's going to make it even worse. The carbon dioxide is for the plants. Let the plants have the carbon dioxide from you. Okay, so don't be stingy to give your carbon dioxide to the plants. Let nature have it. This is a law of nature, okay? And this is also great for diabetes, right? We have a lot of testimony, okay? We have already seen that. And dementia. So what happens? The smallest blood vessels is in the brain, and that is lack of oxygen. So one thing is good about the dementia patient, when they keep on drinking it, they start to having back the memory. The only side effect of it, they will start to remember how much money you owe them. So be prepared, but it's good for you. Okay. And we're going to do another test on cancer cell. Let's take a look. This was a study done together with Monash University. We have two groups of mice, and we injected them with cancer cell. So the first group of mice is given tap water, and the second group of mice is given the oxygenated water. And after 9 days, they did the reading. And this is the test result. The one group of mice that is given tap water, we can see that the cancer cell count increased tremendously. Wow, okay? And the second group that is given with oxygenated water, the cancer cell count dropped amazingly. Wow, that is good. We even go to the next extent of doing a PET scan. So this is a group of mice that's given the tap water. We can see that the cancer cell is just growing aggressively, whereby on the group of mice that's given the oxygenated water, the cancer cell basically reducing. Because why? Cancer cell cannot survive in an oxygenated environment. Okay, or else it's going to be a Pac-Man game. They're going to start attacking all the healthy cells. So we understand that. So remember, there are people who challenge me. Are we talking about we don't need hospitals and doctors? I said, no. We do need hospital and doctors only when you are in a car accident. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are in a car accident. You can't just rely on your eye therapy on the Oxy Tap. You need doctors and hospital. You are in a fire accident. You are in a workplace accident. That's it. But anything else than that, whatever your diseases, they are reversible. This is the words from Dr. Alan Greenberg. He says that almost all drugs are toxic and are designed only to treat symptoms and not to cure anyone. So how many more lives has to be, like I said again, gone before we start to wake up? All right, everybody, wake up. This is what we want to be in control of our health and life. Okay, so God created everything in pairs. You have the day, you have the night, you have the rain, you have the shine, you have the pain, and he also prepared the cure for it. All right, and what's great with the Oxy Tap, there is no surgery, there is no drugs, there is no drink. Simply drink water, drink oxygen, drink water, drink oxygen, and you will notice reverse aging. So with that, I've already explained on this as well as talking. So what are the applications that you can use, especially if you are in a competitive sport? This is important. You need oxygen for your stamina, for your speed, and for your strength. If every one of you remember, one of the most acclaimed cyclists, Lance Armstrong, okay? He was always the top and nobody can beat him. You know what's the secret? He would go to a mountain high and breathe in fresh oxygen from there, together with his doctor, and they start to extract the blood from his body because that blood is full of oxygen. Remember, blood is a carrier of oxygen. So that blood is full of oxygen. So during the competitive days, right, so whenever they break, he will get into the car and the doctor will start to inject the fresh blood from that is fully oxygenated, thus giving him the extra strength, stamina, and also speed. Even though it's not drugs, that's why they cannot detect it, but it is still against the law, and he's been stripped off of all his title. Amazing. So what I'm trying to tell you, we have the amazing product that what you need, if any of your children in competitive sports, just drink water, drink oxygen, it gives you the energy, the stamina, and the speed. And what's more, you do not have to worry about the next day of muscle cramp and ache. Because why? You don't have this tissue hypoxia anymore. I remember before I had the Oxy Tap, sometimes I have to run for something and I exert myself. What happens to me? My chest is being congested. It's being so tight. I couldn't breathe. It is a pain. So people ask me, oh, you're not exercising. I said, wrong. Okay? A lot of people who ask me, exercise. Please explain to me. If you say you need to exercise, you need muscle, I'll tell them, explain to me why there's a lot of athletes fully fit and yet they died on the field of heart attack. Yes. So to me, they ask me, what do? I exercise. Don't get it wrong. You heard me, but you do not listen. I say exercise. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the eye care. That is the sunshine and the sunlight from Mother Nature. What it does to your cell, it gives you the resonance of millions of vibration per second. That is exercising the cell. So it's not your muscle. Your cell needs to exercise. Yeah, so that means from your head to your body, use your eye care to exercise your cell, and the cell's got the oxygen. We got the best of the both worlds. Wow. So what do? If you have the eye care, Terra hits the water first. Remember, the eye care doesn't give oxygen. So this is not we can do without. No, we need it because it complements. So it breaks the water. After you terahertz it, then you start to oxygenate it. Wow, splendid. So if you have both, because if you're going to get the Oxy Tap, definitely you already have the eye care. Or else, don't worry, we have interesting coming up, okay? And people are talking about, if you're going to go on a drink binge on the weekend, please have a glass of oxygenated water. You can go for your binge, and by the time you come back, drink another glass. You will not have to suffer of, like I said again, hangover the next day. Yes. So we did this test also when we were in Langkawi, right? In the last December, there was a motivation for all the staff, and some of the ladies got drunk. I gave them the oxygenated water. After drinking it, she started to throw up. Within 5 minutes, she became sober. Amazing. Yes, amazing. So if you're going to drink on the rocks, you probably would not end up drunk at all. So that is amazing because you do not enter the state of acetaldehyde. So this is the most important. So what is this great for? If you tell me every school, they need to have an Oxy Tap because this is good for the student. They don't get emotional. They are much more relaxed. They don't get pressurized. So we're talking about every school need to have the Oxy Tap. Every officers, they need to have the Oxy Tap because they do not want their staff not knowing what they are doing. They don't want their staff to go on medical leave. This is great. And a lot of corporate office during the year end, Christmas is coming, they're giving away all the, the hampers. And the hampers are all rubbish. And it's been thrown away, nothing is left. So now spend a little bit and give all your corporate clients the Oxy Tap. And they will remember you for life because they can experience the life changing, right? And on top of that, you make sure every house bring water, bring oxygen. So if you have all the Kangen customers who have that Kangen machine, bring it to their home, let them taste the difference. The Kangen water with Oxy Tap, it makes the Kangen water splendid. Without it, it's a different taste totally. So you got to bring this everywhere you go for your presentation. This is important. The second tools you need, go and get the HANA, the dissolved oxygen meter, because let them see the number themselves. These are the tools. Okay, don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Because of these tools, you're going to scale high your sales. And of course, you need to have the oximeter watch, whether it's Apple, whether it's Huawei, or buy that. But I prefer the watch because the watch is more precise rather than the oximeter device itself. The watch is much more precise, yeah? And use it. You can go to all the beauty, spa, the wellness centers and all that because they can use it. You can see I am 60 years young, all right? I'll go anywhere, any talks that they call me, I will look for a 60 years old man and compare. If they have better than me, I want to know their trade secret. So I want you to go out there. If you are invited for any talks of any other product, go and scan and look for somebody of your age. If they have better, you want to know what's the secret. But so far, I find none. So indeed, I embrace them and they start to join me in Preventive International. Now you can see you can create more leads. And this is good way of having beautiful skin. Basically, people have seen me and they always say and compliment that I look younger than the previous time that they have met me. Yes, we are not into anti-aging. We are even better, reverse aging. And much more better than that, we are into an ageless, yes, an ageless business. Isn't that great? All parts of your body is going to become ageless, okay? And it's great for weight loss. I do not exercise for the past 20 years. I just, like I said again, lean and trim. You don't want to put in muscle, but you want to ensure all your cells size. Yes, prevent pain and diseases, which is great. I'm now having a very, very active life also. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone through the product, and I'm sure each and every one of you in here, you are already a Preventive member. So one thing good about Preventive, we are not a company that produces the product itself. You imagine if we are the company that produce a product, we have to force you to sell the product, even though time has changes that the product is not relevant anymore. But Preventive International is just the middleman. So as a middle company, a marketing arm, we have the privilege of only selecting the best in the category. We have the first breakthrough, that was the terahertz technology. We are the first one, remember the power of the first one. And right now, we have a second breakthrough, which is the Oxy Tap. Oh, that is just amazing, right? Because it's not just blue ocean, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have any competition. So indeed, in Preventive International, we can create new ocean. That means it's a totally new game changer. So we are positioned to be the world leader in human health using the most advanced technology products today. Yes, I say the word technology. So this is where it is great because you guys come up with this. We call it the health triangle. We call it the Oxy Tap. This is from Mother Nature. We have oxygen and water. And the second, which is the sunshine and the sunlight. Right? We need to exercise our body. And now with the bio, this is where we are encouraged because the human body, we are absorbing all this radiation into the body. So we need to discharge it by earthing or grounding. That's why you are encouraged to walk barefooted by the beach or even on a wet grass. Imagine those people in Europe or in the US during the cold winter. How are they going to walk barefooted on the ice? Right? So right now, you can do that at the comfort of your home. So with that, we call it the Trilogy of Wellness. Yes, we have the Oxy Tap, we have the eye care, and also the bio. So this is the most important. Excuse me. And I want you to note, right now, there are already various oxygen water selling outside in the supermarket on the shelf. So a lot of people are ignorant. They thought that, oh, I might as well buy this, it's cheaper. Remember, let's do the max, okay? One thing for sure, when you buy all this oxygenated water bottle, they are pumped by gas. So what happens, just like a sparkling water, the moment you uncap it, all the oxygen already dissolved in the air. By the time when you measure it, it's only a single digit. because they are not natural from the water. So as it is, they are already selling 1 liter at $4 per bottle. Do you drink 1 liter? I'm sure you drink much more than that. Just for the calculation's sake today, a family of 4, each one drinking 1 liter, just 1 bottle a day. We know it's not enough, but 4 bottles times $4, that will be $16 a day. 1 year, you would have spent 5,840 just for the oxygen water bottle. And I'm sure you're going to bring much more than that. Remember, whatever you spend on, it's not coming back to you. All right? What we're going to do, we're going to compare. We're going to versus it with Thrive International. With Thrive International, when you have the Oxy Tap, I wouldn't want to say it's expensive. I will tell you why. I don't want you to have an elephant mindset. But I would say you can get it for free in Thrive. Yes, for free. They're talking about you don't have to spend on this. No, don't get me wrong. But let me just show you the mathematics. A lot of people, mathematics. And what's more important, it is environmentally friendly. There's no plastic bottle. So you do not have to walk into the mountains anymore. You are having and bringing the mountain right at home. Yes, at any point of time, you can have unlimited supply of whatever oxygenated water that you have. Okay? And what's more important is just like you have a factory, the generator right at home. You can use it for beauty, for hot and cold drink, ice cream, baking, and everything. And how are you going to get it for free? Because I want you to share. I want you to share the good news. You just need to share before people. You just share with 4 people, you can get it as good as free. Remember, you're not just drinking it for yourself. Because I'm going to do a comparison. If you are in critical illness, the doctor would advise for you and the family, go and get this medication, go and get this apparatus, whatsoever. Without question, you would have purchased it. My question to you, whatever that you purchase, will that make you better or anyone else better? It's just for that one patient. And whatever that you have purchased, the money spent is not coming back to you. No question asked. But now, when you are getting on the Oxy Tap, you're talking about recovery or prevention, but not just for one person, the entire family. And everybody can benefit out of it. And I want you to share this with 4 people. Because if you care, you start to share. And what's going to happen, you're going to be rewarded because why? Whatever that you get for it, if the amount you paid, it's going to come back to you. All these years, you have been purchased anything in the supermarket, buying all the premium items, you are not getting a single cent back to your pocket. Am I right to say that? So now, this is how it goes. We all know that this is a diamond. Okay, let me just read the legend. The DS is direct sponsor, LP is level pairing, all right? PB is pairing bonus and PP is product point. So when we talk about diamond, this is 2000 PV. And what happened when you sponsor A and B? This is what you get, 2980. Let's go on the Oxy Tap. The Oxy Tap PV is 2750. If you're already a diamond member, it's good. But if you don't have an Oxy Tap, you need to purchase one. All right, so you purchase one. Okay, you're going to have 2750 PV. And what you need to do, just share with 2%, A and B. Or your A and B could be the one to upgrade it. Okay, so what you're going to get, the first income direct sponsor 10%. You're going to earn $275 US. Plus the product point, now they call it loyalty point, is 1435. So when A purchases your Oxy Tap from you, you are already earning $1,700 US. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, when you give peanuts, you get monkeys. What I want you to do, people want meat. People are hungry for meat. And what is meat? They want vitamin M. What is vitamin M? That is money. They can't wait anymore. They want to make big money. They want to make big money fast. They're running out of patients because you do not want to end up as a patient in the hospital bed. So right now you introduce B, you're also going to get 275 and 1435. Wow. And you place them on the level pairing. The third income, 40% of the PV is another 1,100. So by introducing just 2% A and B, it's 4520. Ladies and gentlemen, is that big money? I'm talking about 2. I'm not talking about 200 or even 20. Just it takes 2 to go. And what more, in certain countries, we do have a promotion. That means you're going to get some free bonus product or whatsoever. If you're going to add that in on your entitlement commission, the product of your Oxy Tap is already free. Now what happens? What if A introduce A1 and B introduce B1? It's not by you, but you're going to earn the level pairing. You're going to earn another 1,100 US dollars. So 1,100 plus 4,5, you are talking about 5,600 US dollars. 5,600 US dollars. You are already running on profit. It's only 4. That's the minimum. So if you ask me, our time is precious because each and every one of us is only given 24 hours. So what I want you to do, when I see you soon enough in Philippines, I'm coming, I'll be back. Get ready, because here I come. I'm going to tell you all the secrets how to do it. Those people who already attended, this is where I'm going to show to you live. All right. So now you can see this is the income. So what I want you to do, I want you to level up because it's a game changer. I do not want you to sell anymore on terahertz because it's a cliche. Every other company is talking about it. You're going to feel disappointed. The same amount of time, the same amount of energy. I want you to aim high. I want you to aim for the stars, not on the eagles anymore. Okay, so right now, these are the kind of income that you're going to get. And it's true, we are not just going to have 1-2 people earning this much. We're going to have every of our leaders to earn this much. And I will be very proud because why? We really going to be the #1 in the MLM industry. And we're doing it very, like I said again, time. The fastest. And with this is the right strategy. That is why we call it the trilogy. Right, so those people, the new one, they're going to buy all this. They're going to have the Oxy Tap, they're going to have the Pro, they're going to have the Bio. Is it 3 diamonds? Then they start to have either they're going to put the leaders like this, right? Or perhaps they're going to line the leaders this way. Okay, so when I see you, I'm going to give you the best structure for the new leaders, how to come about it. So for those who are already developing the business, well, there is never a wrong way, but how you can actually make it better. Okay, so I've gone through all this pain and failure for your benefit that you don't have to go through the hardship. And I'll be very proud to see each and one of you get it even faster than me. Because what you need is a life coach. What you need is a good mentor that has done it and do it and show it to you. Because now we're going to go the fastest route to Crown Ambassador with Oxy Tap. Right? You're not going to go on selling eye care anymore. Because it's going to take you years. I said it very simple. How each and everyone dig your nose is just straight right up. Make it short and simple. Do you see anyone digging the nose by turning around? It doesn't reach it right. So life is simple. Business is simple. Do not complicate things. So I did it the first time in Poland. And what happens in May? Everybody goes rank up and the sales goes up. Everybody got ranking up. I'm so happy because to show the proof, this is the way. You need a new technology. You need a new vision, how to make it happen, right? And second was to Indonesia. The same thing, the moment I talked, the sales, there were doctors inside straight away bought too. He got the level pairing. Amazing. And now the stock already running out in Indonesia. And I was in Poland, we did it, okay? In Hong Kong, I was there recently, just last week. All right, there wasn't any Oxy Tap in the back office. After I talked, I brought my machine straight away. The PWG bought my machine and 3 sold on the very day after my talk. Because why? I don't want you to become salesman. I want you to create the need. We are showing people to do network. We are showing people to do business. We are not here to teach people how to do a massage. I don't do that. I don't want you to do that. I want you to do the network. That is why even in Brunei, with only 400,000 population, my network grew all over the world. And you can do that too, because why? Philippines is to the world. So the next one coming on the 21st to the 23rd in Malaysia. The fastest route to Crown Ambassador, world tour. We're going to make this world tour. And the next big stop right after Malaysia, Philippines, I'll be back. So lock your dates on the 25th of June. Please don't give me an excuse. It's a Father's Day. You should be ashamed if you are just going to celebrate one day in a year of Father's Day, one day in a year of Mother's Day. That is not how you've been brought up. You have been brought up that you got to appreciate every day is Mother Day, every day is Father Day, and every day is your birthday, and every day is Christmas. That is it. Right? You're not going to sing happy birthday. You're going to sing happy birthday every day, happy birthday every day, because every day is your birthday. Wow, it's going to be a life-changing. Isn't that life-changing, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or yes? Give me a thumbs up. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, what you want to become, I don't want you to become one star, future star, two star. I will sing a song for you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. I want you to go for a 3-star minimum to be the Crown Ambassador. So how to become a 3-star? You need to have 2 2-star. How to become a 2-star? You need to have 2 1-star. How to become 1-star? You need 10,000 and 10,000. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, why? Because you only need 8 of 3-star to become a Crown Ambassador. Why you want to become a Crown Ambassador? Because you want to get the global pool. The 2 Crown Ambassador is under my network. Mark and Sarah, the Diamond Director, that's going to go to Crown Ambassador, is under my network. All the rest of the others, they are mostly 80% of the market in Prime are under my network. I'm so proud to produce such a generation. Just like a parent, you are so happy to see your children is doing well than you. That is how you can see the development of your family legacy. Right? So this is what I'm doing. They call me the Papa Bear because I will do it with unconditional love. I want you to be success. Okay, so with this, the Crown Ambassador last year alone, you're going to receive the global pool. And how much is a global pool? We are talking an extra bonus of 250,000 US dollars. Is that a lot, ladies and gentlemen? So I don't want you to start calculating in Philippine peso. Don't be an hypocrite because you are earning in US dollars. You are an expat in your very own country. Yes, how many of you have to become an OFW just to earn Singapore dollars or whatsoever? And they have to sacrifice leaving their loved one, leaving their families, leaving their children. But right now, you are very fortunate because you are planting the seed of US dollars once. And now you are receiving the fruit of your US dollars every single day. And still spending in peso. Wow. And your loved ones are just around you. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you need only 8 3-star manager. So I don't understand. I cannot comprehend. Why do you want to be known as the most direct sponsor of 50 people, 20 people? You don't need that. You are diluting yourself. You just need to focus on the 8 and you become a Crown Ambassador. Right? So you're going to go for pairing. You're not going to get ranking. But what I want you to do, when you go for ranking, you get best of the both worlds. You get ranking and you also earn your pairing. So with that, this is how you go about. This is your account and you have another 8 more to make them 3-star. So sometimes if you expect of all your leaders to be a 3-star, they would feel that you're trying to comprehend them, you're trying to control them. So what I do, normally I advise them, let this 8 is all your account. Yes, I have 8 children. I put all under them. So what am I promoting? I'm promoting my own account to become a 3-star. Now, is that easy? Because when it is your account, you take accountability. You start working on it. That is it. Right? You can position yourself. So with this is how you become a 3-star. Right? You focus, start working on it. This is a 3-star. Okay, start working on one side first. Right? Open one account. Any of your new leaders, they need to open at least 6 accounts. One account. This is going to be your 3-star. You got to identify right when you start who's going to become your 3-star, who's going to become your 1-star, who's going to become your 2-star, your 1-star, and the 10,000, 10,000. Wow. So when you have this, that means I say straight away open all this, it's your account. So you start working on it and you are very fortunate because right now you can become a 1-star, you can accumulate 2 months. How lucky you are. 2 months accumulation to become a 1-star. You don't have to wait. We have to struggle before, but you're very fortunate. But I guess we are being relevant to motivate everybody. It's a win-win situation. Why not? It's for the benefit of everyone. It's good for everyone. And it is fair to everyone concerned. So now you have the month of May and the month of June and July. Do not hold on to your horses. When they start seeing money, they will start. Do not pull your horses back. Let them make the money. Just like how I'm giving it to you. If I have 10 steps, a lot of martial art, they would reserve 1 step for themselves, just in case the disciples start to go against them. That is what you already planted negative in your thoughts. What you got to give is something that is positive. I have 10 steps. I'm giving everybody the 11th step. What is the 11th step? So that when they can be independent, you have the time freedom. Isn't that what all about? The network is to have a time freedom and financial freedom. That is it. So give them everything. Like I said again, they will move. That is easier. All right? So with this, ladies and gentlemen, you are the master of your destiny. You can influence. You can direct and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be. Look. You got to search for it. That's it. Right? Okay, so true leadership is not about being the best. It's about bringing out the best in others. When I see all of them achieve and they say they are from my generation, I'm so, like I said again, I'm so proud and each and every one of you. And what's more, leadership is not a journey to rise in the rank. Leadership is a journey to help those around us rise. So together we can rise up. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, network marketing change life. Only you can decide if you change yours. I can only bring the horse to the water. I cannot force the horse to drink the water. Seek and you shall find. So always be meek and humble, for they shall inherit the earth, not the proud and arrogant. So always take note. I take care. We always achieve what? Healthy, beauty, wealthy. Imagine Inventor and Oxy Tap. We're going to have more of everything. Who want to settle for less when you can have more? Why not? You're going to be more healthy, both hands, more beauty, both hands, more wealthy. So if you can make $1 million in 1 year, you do not want to wait 10 years later. Am I right to say that? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we already have this. So I hope whatever that we have is like rolling good times. I did my Zoom for 2 hours and each and every one of you are here. So with that, I'd like to wish everybody stay healthy, stay beauty, stay wealthy, and my prayers go to all of you. Good more earnings. Thank you.